Alright, I'm back. We thought the audio issue was on my end, but it's not. It's on B-minus's end. So I go solo for now. Alright. Welcome back to the 100% tournament for Super Mario Odyssey. xSpooky versus GrandPOOBear. They already started off with Cap Kingdom. Very simple kingdom. Just need to get to the end and see topper. Quick boss. So the goal for this category is to collect the 124 moons you need to get to the end of the game. You need to collect a certain amount of moons in each kingdom to move on. In this kingdom you need 5, for example. There we have our first moon. Here's our first trick of the run. Gonna use this T-Rex, jump off this trampoline into this cutscene trigger and skip half the level and enter the boss fight early. Capturing enemies and objects are the main mechanic in this game. To collect moons and traverse through kingdoms. Almost done with our second kingdom here, Cascade Kingdom. Grabbed our first Grand Moon, which is worth 3 moons. Just need 1 more moon to restore the Odyssey. I'm trying. It's not. I don't have much to say right now. So next is Sand Kingdom. Pretty big kingdom with a lot of moons, which means the route could differ a lot between the two runners. See which moon the GrandPOOBear here does first. Looks like he's going for the employee moon back in the shop. This changes which moon he gets at the end of the kingdom. Looks like xSpooky is going for the roof moon first. And going for the rumble moon after that. Skipping the bird for now. And now our runner should sync up. Oh, he's grabbing the bird now instead of in the oasis. Very nice. See if they will manipulate this bull bill here. Yeah, looks like it. GrandPOOBear is going to grab the moon on the leaning pier there in the back here. Or not. Oh, that's new. I've never seen that before. It's nice. And Spook is doing the same. And then one of our runners is going for the swings clip. Doesn't look like GrandPOOBear is doing that. Can clip through the wall behind the swings and access moons behind, well, out of bounds. Looks like Spooky's entering the swings. He will be collecting most of his coins in here. Oh, unfortunate that for GrandPOOBear. That job is very tricky. You collect coins in this round to buy moons. First moon you buy is in Wooded Kingdom. You buy 2 moons. And by collecting coins in the Swings room, you don't need to have to worry about coins. GrandPOOBear is skipping that room, so he needs to collect coins throughout the run. And there is a route for that. So hopefully he'll get enough. See if GrandPOOBear can catch the bird here. Or if he's going for notes. We're getting the Jaxi Ruins moon the first try. And there is the bird. Oh, he needs notes too. Yeah. Didn't catch that. Looks like Spooky can skip the notes. Can't see it. Very nice kingdom by GrandPOOBear here. Heading on to the next kingdom. And yeah, xSpooky is warping back to the Odyssey now. It's faster when you don't do the note moon. Alright, next kingdom, Lake Kingdom. One of the shorter kingdoms. You only need 8 moons. And one of them is a grand moon, so that's 3 moons. See if we can get this jump over the wall first try. And he does, very simple jump actually. Might look hard, but it's not. Here they're going to grab a sheep. Sheep is the fastest movement in the game underwater. So every time they're in the water, they're gonna grab the sheep. Let's see if GrandPOOBear can get this jump here. Can be tricky to get, but he gets his first try. There's the second boss. Very simple, you lock him in place here by flipping 18 three times and it's over. Like I said, a short kingdom. So the next kingdom is Wooded Kingdom. Um, You're going to buy your first moon here. For 100 coins. Very nice bunny grab there. Stop, like,
Hey, what's up, dude?
good.
We're good.
Yeah.
How's the race going so far?
It's pretty close. No major mistakes. GrandPOOBear is in the lead, probably due to movements.
Yeah, I'm assuming. I know POOBear has a low 112 for his PB. What are we looking at here for Spooky?
122, I think, on the leaderboards.
Which is not the most unnatural thing, honestly, for Super Mario Odyssey, that you might see some players that don't necessarily have a better PB being able to keep up, especially in this early couple of worlds. I would say Lost World, Lost Kingdom is the first place, that in the Metro, where we could start to see a gap. But definitely, it just kind of looks like POOBear's had a couple of mistakes that has allowed this match to be a lot closer than maybe it should be here early on at the death. The Jaxie Ruins jump.
Oh, yeah.
Other mistakes there I saw on Lake. So we'll have to see how the play goes from here. We have always a particularly scary jump there. POOBear jumping across to the poison pipe there. I'm going to make sure. I'm assuming there's probably a link where I can probably see this with no delay.
Oh, yeah.
I was commenting, I was like, you're probably, you guys are like in Lost Kingdom right now. I'm not looking at it. Oh, this is what we want to see. Okay. Oh, the race is over. Good. Okay. Alright, so it does look like both players elected to go with the checkpoint route. There's a little bit of a debate in the community whether jumping straight down to the Fuzzy's pipe is better first. And you have Spooky taking damage here at the beginning. This is a very difficult room to do well. Let's see what strat POOBear elects for here. It elects to do the dive into the nut. Nicely executed there. Looks like Spooky kind of with a standard damaged water rising strat.
Yeah, taking damage and then grabbing a moon loses a bit of time, roughly 2 seconds.
It is possible at the highest level you can actually get up there without the water at all, but it's very specific to your movement from the time you enter the pipe just to catch all the right cycles with the water going up and down and with the fuzzies going up and down. It's pretty difficult to do correctly. Nicely executed. I have my own words that I use for how to describe that strat, but I got getting kind of in between the bottom of the nut and the wall to crack it very quickly by bonking into it once and then throwing your cap twice to kind of keep you like stuck between the nut and the wall. So it's one nice thing about this game, you know, the game's only about a month old, but you see a lot of personality from each of the different runners of this game on every different situation, how they handle it.
Yeah.
POOBear back there, utilizing a triple jump strat to skip over the flower field section. We got Spooky actually doing it here as well. Oh, but didn't quite make it. The Okay, he is able to die there. As weird as that sounds, you'd much rather die than potentially fall into the deep woods. I think you're pretty safe if you fall from there.
Yeah, you should always die here.
Yeah, if you in this a little quirky thing about this kingdom, which is very devastating whenever it happens, is that you could fall into another area of the kingdom called the Deep Woods. And if you fall down there, there are moons you can get down there if you know what you're doing. But you end up, you're not able to... Oh no, he died again! You're not able to warp out of there. Was able to get the nut on the crumbling tower. He's going to have to just pass over the flower field one more time. Again,
Yeah.
It looks like Spooky right off the bat, just watching for me in Wooded Kingdom, I can see they say, oh, it looks like he's got a lot more skill than someone with a 122, looking like he's still trying to build that consistency. Taking another death, unfortunately.
I think he's a little bit too far to the left. The tower is tripping him up, it seems like. The camera is blocked, so you can't see where he's going.
One nice thing about Spooky going the Sphinx route is that he doesn't have to worry about... Okay, he is able to get into the tower. Very nice. The one good thing about him going with the Sphinx route is that you really don't have to worry about your coin situation at all. Effectively, this route costs 210 coins for 2 moons and 10 for 1 effectively intended death abuse that we'll be using here in the next kingdom. Well, in 2 kingdoms.
Yeah.
Despite some early mistakes by POOBear, is able to open up quite a lead here. Unfortunate 3 deaths there by Spooky trying to get into the tower.
The third boss of the game.
Well, we got Spewert here, or as my good friend Ivan calls him, Puke Guy. What do you call him, Jock? He goes by Tall Guy, Hat Guy, Puke Guy, and Girl.
Spewert. I don't know.
Oh, are you okay, you
Yeah.
keep him with the lore. See, I go lore as well. I'm like, man, the game says their names, dude. We just blatantly ignore them. Unfortunately, Spooky sitting here while we're joking around. He's sitting here at 1 health. Spewert is a boss that shouldn't give you too much trouble, but if you missed 1 hit, it's really hard to catch back up and get that last hit.
Yeah, it can be really tricky.
He is able to clutch it out though, get his moons, and move on forward. What is a tough kingdom? I said there could be a large gap broken up once you get to about the Lost Kingdom and beyond, but Wooded and Sand, they certainly can have an opinion on your run early. Alright, so we've got POOBear here fighting Bowser. Using a technique where he's trying to skip... It looks like he might have messed one up there a little bit earlier, but utilizing a technique where you stop his hat and then hold it by holding Y, which is holding your cap out in place, and then getting Mario close to him and then releasing Y to bring it back to you, so then you can start the hits before Bowser's able to jump away, saving a fair amount of time over the course of the fight. And now POOBear into Lost Kingdom. It's this done well should be a very short kingdom. We only have to get 10 moons that we can get out of here. No boss fights or anything. Unfortunately, in a lot of ways, the hardest part of the kingdom is this first stupid tree. Looks like POOBear able to get through there. Only a little bit of trouble. I would take that tree in any tournament race I'm going to be in. I feel like that's pretty par for the course. It's a very slippery tree.
Yeah,
So,
it's not easy.
And
Going
what
back,
are- and what are
going
we
this
skipping?
back. Just give me a cutscene trigger where this bird comes down and takes Cappy from you. By going this back route, you skip that trigger, and you only need to activate it here, tricking the game into believing your Clapdo has the hat. which allows you to move freely throughout the area the cutscene trigger is in.
Yeah, because then you're hitting that second trigger, which is making him think you're in the chase sequence, making him think he has Cappy. But now we can move around. At first, people were making strats where you didn't hit the trigger before we understood, like, in the early phases of this run. But then people found out, oh, okay, we can do that. So technically, it'd probably be slightly faster to not mess with the trigger the second time to get him to move around. But we're going to wait till the game's much more optimized before we worry about that. And then relatively new strat here, where instead of getting the moon in the stone cage down there, where you knock down the pillar, people are just actually using the bug to blow up that one and then jump straight into this moon, saving just a little bit of time. And POOBear, able to get up using the Deathless strat in Lost Kingdom.
Yeah, it saves little bit of time.
Yeah, I think from what I've heard, it is a little bit of time. Like, if you're not doing it perfectly going back, it's just as fast as taking the death strat. So, you need to not have your hat out. Because what happens in this game, just a basic mechanic to explain, is that if you throw your cap and then dive onto it or jump onto it, you get a bounce, but you only get one bounce. However, if you get a moon, it resets your position to where you don't have to do that. It was Spooky with a very nice tree there, actually, saving a little bit of time, a little bit cleaner than POOBear had. He's definitely going to have to make up some time, though. A full Lost Kingdom behind. Not that Lost is an incredibly long kingdom, but still having to recover all those 3 deaths.
Macro Kingdom split up into 2 parts, nighttime and daytime.
Yeah, for anyone wondering, Night Metro does not have. This is the biggest kingdom in terms of number of moons we need to progress through the game. We need 20 here. It's kind of showing the devs really like this kingdom, so they want you to stay there a little bit longer. There are not 20 moons available to us, so Pooh and Spooky are going to have to pick up just a couple moons here, and they're going to have to fight this rather lengthy boss fight and rather difficult boss fight in Mecha Wiggler coming up, and then collect the rest in the daytime when the kingdom becomes fully active. You'll even see them kind of passing by that moon on the right side over those girders, because we're going to be coming back to this area a little bit later. Alright, very important spot right here for POOBear, this climb up the Lost and Found section, the City Hall. I've seen so many different strats here for how to do this. He's electing to backflip into the wall.
Yeah, I do that too.
Ooh, a little bit of a bonk there. Is able to at least catch the elevator as it's coming up. Going for a ground pound jump into this pole. And now you're going to see them hopping back and forth between the pole and the wall, making it a little bit faster than even shaking your controller in order to climb a little bit faster. Alright, and here's a big jump right here. He's going to be going to this platform and then long jumping across, throwing his cap, didn't miss it, and he is across the gap. You miss that, you're falling all the way back down, losing probably 30 to 40 seconds each time you do it. I've seen that mess with many runners, even the very experienced ones. Also,
Spooky dying.
Not quite able to get, But he got the moon, right?
No, I think it died before.
Okay, so he needs to be careful that he doesn't trigger Klepto's. Now Klepto's back to the same position he was the first time. I've never actually, I'm not trying to brag, I've never actually been in this situation where I missed the moon and then I had to go back to get it. I don't actually even know what really the recovery strat is.
No, he has the right idea. You can do this, but it's really hard.
Yeah, he's jumping just a little too much time.
Yeah.
Obviously a bit of a blind jump. To note here on POOBear's end, though, he's going for the 2-cycle with the Mecha Wiggler. He has to literally tank these shots and then try to aim up to where the Mecha Wiggler's face is. Space out your shots so you don't get jammed, and then shoot him up. This is going to be really tight if he's able to get it. No, not quite able to get it. He had that one cube right there in the middle. Now he needs to be careful. He's sitting here on 1 health. A death to Mecha Wiggler is extremely punishable. One of the worst mistakes you can make in an any percent run, honestly.
Yeah, at this point he needs to redo the fight if he dies, basically. The whole fight.
Yeah, playing it safe, obviously, not taking that death. He's able to get the 3 cycle. And it looks like Spooky is finally able to get the peeking out from under the bridge moon, getting his last moon needed. It's unfortunate because if you miss that, that is the backup. There's not another moon that's just in a really convenient spot for you to grab. Because, like, you might say, why didn't he just jump up on that bridge and then slide down, fix his camera? If he jumps up on that bridge, there's a lot of spots where it triggers Klepto. It's kind of weird where all the triggers are that actually get Klepto going. There's even areas pretty far away from him, but you're on that same kind of level where you're on the ground, like pretty far away, and it still triggers him. So it's pretty bizarre. Kind of like the Mama Brutal fight in Cascade, that we can be so far away from her when we do the T-Rex jump and still trigger it.
Yeah, it's really big, that trigger.
Cool strat here by POOBear. Let's see if he can get it. He throws out his hat, then gets the moon, then he's going to shake like crazy, and it is able to make the hat home into the power line, and then zip him right to it, saving just a little bit of time. Alright, worst moon in the game. We got the RC car. Let's see how it goes. Alright, he is able to get it. Yeah, very, very nice there.
Watch him learn Spike.
I know! I'm so bad at it, dude! I don't think it's possible to be worse at the RC car than I am. It's kind of bizarre. But it is seriously one of the worst moons in the game. So, we got POOBear coming over here for the best moon in the game, though. They kind of balanced it out. Now we get this awesome flick, utilizing that creativity there, and shooting right down to bench friends.
Oh, that's nice. Making friends.
Now we get to flick again. Gonna hit this top left crate since it's already at 1 health. It's a little more broken up than the others. Then using a cat cancel to switch his momentum instead of bonking to head into that girder moon. So POOBear's halfway through on his moon count. He's got 10 out of 20 right now. Now he hit that checkpoint at the top of City Hall before the Mecha Wiggler, and that's very important. Otherwise, these moons are basically just not an option. You won't be able to get up to them. You'd have to go through City Hall again, which would be a huge time loss. Always remember that. Now we're finally going to get that moon that was sitting on top of the girder, swaying in the breeze, jumping down on it. And again, what I was trying to say earlier, what that does is that even if you bounced off your cap once, if you hit a moon, that resets your animations. I guess it's not really animations, but it just resets your ability, kind of refunds your ability to do a cap bounce. So then out of that, you can throw your cap and get another cap bounce to go where you want to go. So there's some pretty crazy chains you can do off of that.
Yeah.
And now diving down to the moon over the swimming pool. Does not miss it. Always is a bad feel when you whip it. And it looks like, oh, right. Every time I look over at Spooky, I'm bad luck for him. Every time I'm like, oh, looks like he's back. Oh, nope, never mind. All right. I'm seeing Spooky going for a lot of more advanced strats. He is beyond a 122 caliber player. He just needs more than 122 consistency, is what I'm seeing from him.
Yeah, definitely. GrandPOOBear pushing through the crowd. Collecting 2 fast moons in this room.
Nice to see, despite the fact that we have to get almost so few moons in the game, there are still a fair amount of these little side rooms we can go into, such as the Fuzzy's Pipe or pushing through the crowd, finding some good strats to be able to grab 2 moons very quickly. Metro Kingdom is definitely one of the kingdoms that has seen the most reroutes over the barely month this game has been out. And for a while there, people weren't doing any of these story moons where you go and get these band members. Even though it seems like, oh, the drummer's right there. You talk to an NPC and you get a moon. How is that ever thought to be not fast enough? you've got the extra cutscenes where it's showing it off. You know, to get a regular moon, it's 3.7 seconds of showing off the moon, and then you drop down. I don't know what the speed is, the length of those cutscenes in that situation, but it also warps you into the little the hall there, the music hall, I guess. So it does make for some extra loading screens and whatnot, so it's understandable. But if you guys are subs to I Eat Your Pie, I think you should spam some Pie OTEP, the basis that we just got to see. Alright, here
I've
we are.
never heard that before.
You've never heard of OTEP?
No.
Not so newbie thinks it's OTET. I'm pretty sure he got banned from Pie's chat for that, but it's whatever. Alright. It does look like, oh, Spooky's got an opportunity here. You can get the 2-cycle. It is able to get the 2-cycle. Very nice. It is random how Mecha Wiggler will move out of the wall, so you have to kind of react from there. But there are general techniques you want to utilize. So, really nice job there by Spooky.
Yeah, if you track the head, you can easily get the 2-cycle there.
Yeah, because obviously his body's going to follow where his head goes, so if you kind of know when he's going to start to become vulnerable, you shoot at his head, and then you just kind of space out your shots so you don't jam the tank. Because that can happen if you just spam the shot too fast. And then you keep hitting them. And then hopefully, once you've gone all the way from the head to the tail, there should only be like a few, ideally only maybe like 2 shots you have to make once it stops. And you can get it in 2 cycles.
GrandPOOBear heading to Seaside first to collect more coins. He needs 100 in Snow Kingdom to buy the second moon.
Yeah, you were talking earlier before I hopped in about just kind of the different route choices here. There's 2 spots in this game where you can go to one of 2 kingdoms at a time. And here you're allowed to go to either Seaside or Snow, but Snow is actually a kingdom where we just don't have a lot of options for moons. So one of the fastest options is still just buying a moon from the shop. That costs 100 coins. If you're not going the Sphinx route, or one of the Sphinx routes in this game, it is better to go to Seaside next, because there's at least one cave with 45 coins you'll be grabbing on this route. There we go.
Yeah.
POOBear able to... That moon can be very, very annoying. Ideally, he doesn't have to throw his cap there to make this movement out of the cave just a little bit faster. So he can do that extra cap bounce like I was talking about. But the Z-axis there on your view can be pretty deceiving. And you think you're going to jump right into the moon. Instead, you jump right to the side of it. You feel like a jerk. Sucks. So here we are.
That's happened to me.
I know a couple of people who think that is one of the harder moves in the entire run. Like, it might seem pretty trivial, but it's definitely very annoying. Seaside's another kingdom where the route for any percent went through so many different iterations. Okay, it's got to go through that when the game is only requiring you to get 10 of the, like, 30 or so available moons given to you, say, in a kingdom like this. So for a while there, we were getting a lot more moons on the back wall. We used the Gushin to fly up. Now the current route is we grab a Gushin for like 5 seconds, and then we switch over to the Cheep Cheep. And now we're just going to be swimming throughout. As you said earlier in Lake Kingdom, while they're, whenever they're in water, they really want to be in Cheep Cheep form.
Yeah.
Much, much faster. On the cycle, he's able to grab Dory, who's just kind of conveniently crossing her path at that point.
Spooky makes his way through Matter Kingdom. No major mistakes, except that bonk. Sorry.
Except that bonk, yeah, I know, right? We're the worst. Like, we need to send Spooky an apology letter.
Yeah.
You were doing great, man, and then we started talking about it, and it jinxed it. Commentator's curse, man. It's weird how that's real.
Yeah, I've gone 2 races and haven't cursed them yet. Now it starts.
So it's probably me coming in the call. So with that, POOBear able to get through Seaside. Looked like a relatively solid Seaside. Had like 1 bonk in there. Each bonk costs you about 2 seconds. Of course, it depends on kind of the properties. Like, he fell in the water there, so it's probably a little more, closer to like 3 seconds or so. But obviously, if you can keep your gameplay in a race with this kind of gap right now to just bonks, then someone like POOBear will take it. That's something that will definitely be magnified in races that are much closer, though, is that this is going to be a game and a tournament that's going to come down to just who has the cleanest movement and the most advanced movement throughout the run, as opposed to trying to just not die in places. But here we are again. POOBear easily having the 100 coins he needs heading on to the Snow Kingdom. Shouts to my boy I Ate Your Pie, who actually initially came up with the concept of this route. We used to go right into Shiveria, the town underneath, but it turns out there is one moon active out here right now, and it is Captain Toad. So by going over and grabbing Captain Toad and then going into Shiveria, instead of doing 2 full moons, that includes a rather slow Moon Shards moon, in Shiveria, we're going to go into a different room and just grab one of the kind of side moons. And that's going to overall save, I think we understand, like 10 to 15 seconds. It's a pretty good time save over an old route.
Yeah, I wasn't around then, so I don't know exactly what.
I'm probably making up half this stuff. No, but it's just, it's a game that Nintendo made purposefully, play as you want. So, speedrunners, we are constantly changing ideas of what to do. I love this shop moon because you literally have to walk in like 2 steps, and the shopkeeper's like, "Nah, man, I can talk to you from there," and he'll still give you the moon.
Yeah, and then you teleport closer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Spooky heading to Snow Kingdom because he went the swings route.
Yeah, so again, Snow first is just like, but in terms of menus, is slightly faster just because you just spam A as opposed to having to click down for Seaside. One of the worst mistakes you can make if you're going the non-Sphinx routes would be to accidentally pick Snow first. So,
yeah,
but those players really have to make sure that they don't.
Yeah, that happened in one of my races I commentated.
Now, are you a Seaside or Snow first kind of guy, for you personally?
I do swing, so it's Snow first.
Yeah. It's roughly, I mean, it's hard to say now with stuff like Sphinx Clip. So routes are kind of all over the place. There's lots of different sand routes you can go through. But, yeah, so it's hard to say exactly how much time. I think I had heard before Sphinx Clips were a thing, it was like a 6 to 7 second time save. But again, totally optimal you're doing the Sphinx Clip.
Yeah.
Which, we're bringing it up, but there are clips in this game, for anyone who doesn't know. We can clip into walls. And you can actually clip into the Sphinx in order to get a moon. Kind of like that ground pound strat from Spooky right there to just get on top of the box, cutting out a wall jump. Probably about the same amount of time as just doing the extra wall kick as doing the ground pound jump. But again, that's what I talk about with this game, that because the movement is so fluid and it's a 3D game, so you can move through the space in so many different ways. Each runner of this game can kind of bring their own personality to it and kind of do their own movement to get to each moon. It's not necessarily just a definitively slower strategy.
Oh, if you can make this jump, yeah. Very nice.
I have yet to fail that, but it always looks scary to me even when I'm doing it, so.
Yeah. But as long as you jump as late as possible, you should make it. If you jump at the edge.
POOBear moving to his 10th moon, having a little bit of bonkage on the way. Bonking in these hallways is impossible not to happen. I'm just throwing that out there. Because you're trying to roll, but controlling your roll in this game is extremely difficult. especially when you're on any sort of like a slope or anything.
In this game, you can bonk on air. Yes.
Oh yeah, literally anything. So stupid. All right, Pooh Bear, yeah, looking like he's got a pretty comfortable lead right now. Is 4 moons ahead of Spooky in Snow Kingdom, in addition to an entire Seaside Kingdom. Spooky there at least not getting screwed over by the Spinies. Sometimes you'll see 1 or 2, even 2 Spinies kind of getting up against that middle wall, and you can't blow them off, so you have to go there and manually hit them. Wasting just a little bit of time, but annoying nonetheless.
Bonking means that you're hitting your head on a wall or an object, and that makes you stop for 2 seconds.
Alright, we got Spooky here in the Goomba Cave. Again, you need 4 Goombas in order to activate this switch, so the players will try to get a certain amount of Goombas. Looking like he's electing with that spread. The Goombas are going to be random where they're standing, so it makes sense he went ahead and did that. But you'll see a lot of times they'll try to activate that icicle platform falling down. Ooh, and electing to kill the Goombas, taking out a little bit of frustration. This dude, oh, he's heartless. I'm liking this play from Spooky. Take him out, dude. They helped you get a moon. You don't care. Looking like he's electing to go a little bit safer route, going over a couple extra platforms. Make that just a little bit safer. Again, you are dealing with ice physics there, so you're slipping and sliding around everywhere.
GrandPOOBear making his way to Luncheon. One of the harder kingdoms in the game.
Yeah, for sure. It's the last kingdom where you really, like, where we had to think too much, I would say. Ooh, dropping down, having a lot of issues getting over to this brutal fight. One thing that is important to note about this tournament, and I'm saying it, I'm 90% certain this is the case, but you might think like, oh, well, whatever, Pooh Bear might just start screwing around, he's got this race kind of in the bag, he's up by quite a bit. Even though, like, it is still possible to come back in this, there's a lot of difficult stuff to execute here down the stretch. Players still want to get as good at times as they can, because that's going to count for tiebreakers once they get... So if Pooh Bear is able to get out of his pools to go into the bracket phase, he's going to want to get as good at times as possible, because that's how the seeding is going to be determined.
Yeah, in the bracket stage, yeah.
Yeah, so he doesn't want to just, oh, whatever, I'm just going to try a bunch of new strats, and, oh, if I die 4 times, whatever, I'm still going to win. It's still something absolutely for him to try to do as well as he can. Going to be dropping down in here into a secret room in Luncheon after the brutal fight. Again, beyond Metro, where you got to grab 20 moons, this is the second biggest moon requirement in the run for a given kingdom. You need to grab 18 moons here. This is another kingdom, like almost I would say more than any other kingdom, that has gone through so many different routes. People have so many different opinions on which moons you should do.
Yeah.
Even to this day, people disagree about whether you would do, say, the lava bubble secret that I'm assuming both these players will be going for, or the more advanced, the Forks room secret.
Yeah, I was watching GrandPOOBear before, and he was doing the Podaboo room.
He's rocking. He's a Podaboo man. Yeah, that's what most people are doing.
Yeah, I don't have any trouble with that. Most people go for Fork room because it's easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of interesting that I would say, if you're going for very simple strats, Fork room is easy. If you're going for the most advanced strats, where you can go for these crazy up throws and everything, it's actually much harder. So it's kind of funny how, you know, it depends on what skill level you want to go for, and just in your own practice what things are looking like.
Yeah.
Alright, Spooky having to mess with the up cave right here, is able to get up nicely, electing to throw in a ground pound, so that he's able to get the moon and not have his cap out, so now he can reset and have a little bit of a cleaner exit than Pooh Bear did right there. Now, POOBear having to grab this lava bubble. If you're extremely fast there, you can actually catch the earlier cycle of the lava bubble, but it's based on cycles earlier in the level, so you gotta be pretty darn clean.
Yeah, he ended up in the lava 2 times, so the cycle was off there.
Able to get the moon on top of the aggro crag, as I call it. Shouts to Global Guts. And now coming over for another one of the worst moons in the game. We're gonna have to grab this frying pan throwing hammer bro. I guess a frying pan bro, I don't know. He is, okay, so he does what I do. I like to just get right on top of that cheese rock and just fling my frying pans. And hope it's gonna break those cheese rocks. And kind of an interesting little strat there when then beyond it. Because some people will like to kill the hammer bro then afterwards, so that when you throw your cap in order to hit the switch, it doesn't accidentally hit the hammer bro and recapture it instead. He just went beyond the cheese rocks, giving himself some spacing, and then grabbing it from there. I like that strat, it's interesting. Definitely, as a studier of the game, somebody who wants to run it themselves, one of the best things you can do is just watch other people run the game. Because even if you see people, you might not think, okay, well, they're not the world record holder, what can I really learn from them? Everybody's doing different stuff right now. So if you find something that might be, say, the same speed, but it works better for you, it's certainly worth looking into.
Here's the Put-a-Boo room.
Here it is. I know. You said you have no troubles with it.
Nope.
You need to teach me, because I still beef it on this all the time. I'm terrible at
really?
I'll still... So I've been trying to go for the damageless version, which I think is not smart to go for in the tournament unless you're extremely comfortable with it. But yeah, the damageless ending, where you actually skip across the little platform that's moving. It's usually going to be sitting there to the right. But then you skip quickly to there and then skip quickly to the other platform, and you can do it without taking damage, which is something in this game that's definitely worth looking at. If you have taken no damage when you get a moon, you pretty much regain your ability to move instantly. Whereas if you've taken damage, it takes a couple seconds actually to refill your health, even if you only have to refill it once. So it's more time than you would think that you lose for taking damage.
I've heard 2.2 seconds for 1 health, but 2.5 for 2. So,
yeah. At that point, the second health doesn't make a big difference, but it is a slow animation of watching the health refill in the middle of the screen, then move up to the corner it's supposed to sit in. They make you feel like an idiot for taking damage in this run. That's why you'll see some people, like, if they see, say, a heart that's sitting over on the side, or there's a checkpoint, you'll see them maybe go just a little bit out of their way to hit those, at least throw their cap at them, because it's still faster than watching your health refill.
oh yeah, definitely.
Alright, so with that, POOBear able to clear the final large kingdom, getting a low 54 there. Really not bad pace for Pooh. He certainly had some moments of spaghetti, or whatever you want to call them. But
yeah, maybe nerves.
Yeah, I said his first tournament match. I don't know if he's participated in a tournament match on Speed Gaming prior to this for like other games. I don't know if there's been, say, like a Super Mario Brothers 3 tournament or something that he would have taken part in.
Yeah, I can't recall seeing that.
It's definitely a little nerve-wracking. You've been in a couple, haven't you? Or is Odyssey?
No.
Oh, okay.
Odyssey is my first one, but I did do this showcase race back in 15.
Yeah, Tropical Freeze. That's right. Yeah, I commentated that. Yeah. I mean, did you feel extremely nervous doing it?
Oh, I basically isolated myself from everything except the IRC race chat, so I was just doing my thing, and that's why I did so well, I think.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I think you took second place behind Goldfish. I want to say your performance.
No, I died in 6-8, so.
That's right. I forgot.
NK
That's
stole
old
second
memories.
place. Yeah.
So here we are. This is a dragon. Might seem a little out of place, but don't worry, the boss isn't too hard. Although I say that, I was in POOBear's chat earlier, and he said, I have died multiple times in runs to this boss. If Spooky were to stand any chance of coming back in this race, he certainly has to root for a dragon death. I believe it was in a race that you called a couple days ago, where I think it was the runner's name was Dix or something. Yeah, I believe he took a death, and you guys can see how long this boss is. Taking a death here is extremely punchy. He took it right at the end of the fight, and went on to lose the race by about 15 seconds or so.
Yeah, 19.
Yeah,
he did really well to catch up again.
Yeah, you would think he was just completely out of it at that point. He almost came all the way back, showing that, you know, that skill gap that you can build up in this game. But Java was still able to just hold on and win the race the other day. Certainly, you want to avoid deaths, as POOBear did right there. Avoided disaster for sure.
But it's not over. You got more boss fights that could change the pace of this race.
Although, if I had to pick a single hardest to execute kingdom in this entire run, that's constantly demanding and asking so much of the player, it's definitely the next kingdom, the second to last. We've got Bowser's Kingdom coming up, in which our focus really isn't on collecting moons anymore, so much as just platforming all the way through the level. It's kind of nice that moons almost don't break up the kingdom as much as it does other ones. It randomly asks you to get 8 moons, which the game automatically is going to give you 6 for moving through it, just by beating the bosses and such. So they're just going to have to grab 2 very quick moons otherwise. And we do have a fork man. Yeah. Showing off the different potential routes right here.
Very nice. All 3 races I've commentated had both rooms, so...
Oh, cool.
Yeah, nice diversity.
And spooky, like, the spookiest part of that room is definitely that final jump from the secret moon over to the main moon. Is that if you fail that, you're usually going to die, or at least fall very far down before you can recover. Had a little bit of trouble here getting up on the Pepto-Bismol mountain here. Used to watch out for this stupid Goomba. Was able to get up to the aggro crab, very nice. POOBear messing up the positioning of that triple jump, so having to kind of reset his momentum and take a little bit of a different strat.
And that was the hardest boss in the game, Aaron. Nice.
Admittingly, there's a lot of moons that are even less or even more trivial than that. It's like, okay, you at least had to kill something there. You had to, like, jump on top of its head. Other moons are just like, yo, there's a moon sitting on top of a tree. Or, hey, there's one to the side of a tree. So, you know, 880 moons they shoved into this game. It's, they're all different levels of trivial. Oh, yeah, any of you POOBear subs, get hype. With Poo11, Poo22, Poo33, and Poo44. Make sure to get those spams on, because we're coming up. We're grabbing these moon shards here. Again, you might feel like this seems like a slower moon. This is, again, a required moon, actually, to get out of here. Ooh, the Spinies give them trouble. Secretly the toughest enemy in the game, the Spinies. You can't capture them or anything. You can't grab... The only thing you can do to kill them is by knocking them off of an edge. POOBear electing to go kind of this like medium strat here that has been developed, where you actually take the Pokio over these little key birds, and then sort of sticking him into the wall and then shaking to get above that roof. The timing there's a little weird for when you have to do it, but if you just delay slightly, you can get over that roof, over that wall, and get to the other moon shard. Yeah, that's what I like to see in chat. Just sticking your nose in the wall, man. In the wall and all the way through. And that gets you a moon in this game. Like I said, at least the other one, it required a boss.
Oh, yeah. Maybe
And-
this moon felt nicer.
Oh man, some people have longer noses than others. That's weird how that works. You can combo that as much as you want. Alright, well, back to the race. Spooky is able to get out of the Luncheon Kingdom. He'll be having to take on the dragon, but then he should be in Bowser's Kingdom at the same time as Pooh. As Pooh is probably leaving. But Pooh's down to, he's got a climb and a handful of bosses left to finish off Bowser's Kingdom. He got his second non-forced moon earlier. Able to go for this triple jump strat that I like quite a bit. I just saw him go for that before the stream. Over the railing to go over to Harriet. You can find Harriet and Topper, or the girl and hat guy, however you want to call them. In either order you want. What do you prefer, Jock?
I do Harriet first.
I feel like I'm less inclined to ever take a hit to Harriet, so then I know I'm going to be at full health on Topper, whereas Topper's usually hits me once. And I don't ever want to get to Harriet and, like, fear that, oh no, am I going to die? Am I going to, like, miss a shot? Or, miss my cap throw and get hit with a bomb and then die on her? I feel like I'm always going to do Harriet first. But there are a lot of people who do prefer to just fight Topper sooner, since he is, to a lot of people, I think the more challenging boss fight. Because what you're going to be seeing here is that they're going to hit him a couple of times to get those caps off. And then he's going to go down, and if you time your jump correctly, you can jump on him with when he is about to start spinning around with all his hats, and you can catch him, which POOBear was able to do both times there, is then able to get a couple of hits, start this spinning phase, and then jump around it and jump on his butt, able to finish off the fight. Very, very clean Topper fight there by GrandPOOBear. Really a nice Bowser's Kingdom overall here, besides some messing around with the Spinies.
Yeah, Topper is a lot harder than he looks.
Yeah, and he's punishing is the thing. If you end up not jumping on his hats correctly as he goes down, he's about to use all of them, then it's really easy to lose him. And there's just hats flying around everywhere. Until you hit him a couple of times in succession, then he's just going to keep spinning around. It can easily be a mistake that, oh, you were just barely off and you lose 10, 15 seconds because of it. Which again, regardless of what this race looks like, POOBear wants to get as good a time as possible in order to make his seeding better if he's able to move on in this.
Yeah. And he's looking good too, so...
Yeah. Able
it's
to
likely.
capture the Pokio here. Now he has to do a Pokio climb. For anyone who doesn't know, if you sort of like flick Pokio down with your joystick and then flick him up, then you can gain height with him. However, if you just spin the controller, oh, he doesn't want to lose the Pokio yet. If you shake your controller, he gets these high jumps off of it, making the climb much, much faster. But it's all about your spacing. It's obviously only on the clear parts of the wall can you actually grab. And with that, that puts POOBear up here. Overall, very solid Bowser's Kingdom for him, but this is the big one. Maybe the big point of the entire run is how well you can execute the Mecha Boodle. So normally this game wants you to get a Pokio and then shoot bombs back at him, who unfortunately ain't unable to get up there. He's going to have to grab a Pokio now. Oh, he's actually just going to try to reset and go for it again. Does not get it again.
Infinite amounts of tries on the first phase.
Normally the game wants you to shoot the bombs back at him with the Pokio in order to break its legs. But instead, we're going to try to never use the bird. We're going to try to never use the Pokio. And instead, just as it blows you off after each of the... Ooh, POOBear having a rough fight so far. As it sort of shakes you off, you do cat dives to get back on top of the head. So unfortunately, falling off this time, he's going to have to take the Pokio. There is still a little bit of an advanced strat to get up there because his vents will open up, giving you something to actually stick your nose into. So he's then able to get up an alternative way. So he's going to sit here, he's going to blow up the second one, the Topper on the back, going to be doing his cap throws back at it. You're almost always going to bonk there. A lot of this, you want to try to understand when you need to throw in those extra little spins, which is spamming A or B as soon as the cap comes back to you. That gives you that little extra spin in the air, keeping you suspended just a little bit longer and giving you a little more distance to be able to get over to the boss. He's able to get his third hit there. He needs to get back up on one more time. And he's going to be throwing in this spin here, getting that little bit of extra distance. He's able to get on top and takes out Harriet. So a pretty rough fight there for POOBear. Fell a number of times. Probably losing a good 30 to 40 seconds on that fight. But regardless, didn't die or anything. Is able to maintain a lead, avoiding any sort of a disaster.
Yep.
But yeah, that's a really, really interesting fight, how well you can do it. That fight casually is extremely slow. Yeah, that's definitely a good word for it. I would say that was a decent net. In a more competitive tournament race. Ooh, we got a death here on Spooky's side. I didn't see where it was.
He was going for the second shard and bonked on the wall. Trying to long jump there, yeah, and fell off.
Yeah, unfortunately, did not hit the checkpoint, so he's going to have to go back across this entire little room.
POOBear heading to the Moon Kingdom, the last kingdom.
Yeah, there's one more major skip. There's a couple of skips left, but one more major skip here. Normally in, looks like Spooky having troubles as well with the spinies. That little spiny pen can be tricky for sure to get out of, just because the camera is so awkward. But yeah, one more major skip here. We got the moon skip. Normally the game wants you to go into this cavern where you have to go through all these different captures. You know, it's kind of your standard final level in a Mario game you could expect. You see all these enemies, it's got the big epic music, you're surrounded by lava and stuff, and you have a boss fight with Mama Brutal again in this game at the end. But instead, there's a Sphinx conveniently located on the back side of the moon. And if you go around to it and you kind of position yourself correctly on the Sphinx in order to get a wall kick high up, because you can see right here as POOBear is moving through it, we've got super low gravity. I remember my Lexi, a Freedom Planet runner, if you guys are familiar with that game. He's run it at GDQ before. He came into my chat the first day I was playing this casually and saw the Moon Kingdom physics, and he said, well, this is begging to get broken.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, they're asking us to find some way to get a skip. And sure enough, by the end of, like, day 2, people were like, oh, if we get on this Sphinx, we can just skip the cave altogether. Like, normally POOBear just passed it. Little entrance right there. It's like a 3 to 5 minute dungeon depending on how quickly you do it. But he's going to position himself here. I like to go on the left side like he does. Throw your cap at the wall, get the bounce off of it, and then kick off a very specific spot on the wall to go up high enough and get a refunded jump off the wall to get up here and go up to the chapel. Very nicely executed there by POOBear. The last major skip of the run. Able to get it first try. Really, really well done.
Yeah. And nowadays we have visual cues to make it up there. In the past we kind of did it like on chance. But now it's a lot more calculated.
Yeah, so it was a very like 50-50 trick for me. Like I didn't understand it. I just did it till I got it. And finally, I kind of found a position that works for me. It's definitely one of those tricks that is frustrating at first, like you're saying, but then you kind of it just clicks for you one day. You find your setup that works for you every time, and you never have to worry about it again. So here we have POOBear on the second and final Bowser fight. Shout out to Nintendo for only making us fight Bowser 2 times this time instead of 3. Definitely makes it just less annoying. But here we are. He's again setting up that cap. Same strategies as the first time we fought him, where you're holding the cap out, holding out his cap, and then getting close to him, and then having it come to you, so that you can start to hit him before he starts jumping away. Looking like Spooky having some troubles here with Topper. That's pretty common. You'll even see high-level runners that are going to have troubles with Topper. Timing the bounce on his hat, I think, is one of the harder things to do in the any percent run.
Oh yeah. I still have troubles with that.
POOBear getting middle hat RNG right there. It's something that's negligible that we're pointing out. He's got his final phase here. Jumping over one more tail swipe. Now the final section of the game that could give him some troubles again. He wants to get as good a time as possible for seeding purposes moving on. It's easier than you would think to die here. He's going to be playing as Bowser. And this is, I don't know, it's kind of interesting how you have to control Bowser throughout this. There are some little platforming tricks and whatnot. Understanding how to space your fireballs and your swipes to get optimally moving through these rooms. Coming up here, he's going to have a triple jump strat to get up off this block. Skipping, having to walk over to this little side area. He's able to get the triple jump, and now is going to break these rocks. A little hidden piece of tech is that if you don't move with Bowser, he actually swipes faster. So you want to kind of get to the point where you get up to a given pillar or rocks that you need to break, and then stop yourself. Now there is so I don't even call it an advanced strat, but it's a very spooky strat. I don't know if Spooky's gonna go for it, but it's a spooky strat. Where you can actually do a little 2D or a little shortcut in the 2D section there, where you jump around some platforms. Saves you like 2 seconds, but if you fail it, you die. So I expect to not see a lot of players outside of the extremely consistent at it using it in these tournament races.
Yeah.
But as you've
seen it twice at least. Crazy.
Oh, we've had 2 deaths from people in the tournament.
No, 2 people getting it.
Oh, getting it so far.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's good to know some people are going for it. And now we got POOBear
going left side first.
Yeah, a couple different ways. You need to hit each of these 4 pillars 5 to 6 times. I actually don't know how many times it is. I feel like it's 5, okay.
Yeah,
so,
or I don't know.
Sometimes it seems like it's 6, but I think it's just the shots are getting blocked by other rocks that are falling down, so it feels like it's 6. I think you're right. I think it's 5, but whatever. So he elected to go the left side first, and now he's going to try to snipe that pillar from the side. And once you're up here, it's pretty well in the bag. Looking like he's going to get a high 113. Really pretty solid, I would say, for a run this long in a no reset setting. His PD, I believe, is a low 112, so within 2 minutes of his PD, getting out there at 113.45 on his timer. We'll get a confirmation of it in the SRL race, but that is going to start off POOBear with a win in his first match, so very nice job.
Official SRL time is 1:13:47.
Very, very nice job there by POOBear. Definitely a good feeling to win that first tournament match. Because again, the setup here, guys, is you might say, okay, well, Spooky's out of the tournament. If you guys want to, make sure to check out the info there. We'll throw it into chat one more time if you guys want to look at the bracket at all. In order to move on from the pools portion, which we need to get all these matches in within a month, by the end of 2017, effectively. Well, literally, before 2017 is over. You're pretty much going to have to win 2 out of your 3 matches in your pool. If you can go 3-0, you're definitely going to move on. Potentially, if all 3 of the other opponents tie, if there's like a round robin where they trade it off, and go 1-2, it'll be down to tiebreakers with how well you do with your times in order to determine who's going to move on. Because 2 people from each of the 4-person pools will get to move on. We do have a couple of 3-person pools just to even it out. We got just under 128 players. But yeah, 2 from each pool will move on to the bracket phase. So definitely starting off with a win feels really good if you're POOBear, if you're anybody. But it is also not over for Spooky. He's going to try to, finish this out, try to get a solid time here. I think with his PB at 122, I think potentially he could get a PB here still. I forget how long it takes from here to get to the end. I think it'll be close.
I'm gonna check here. Let's see. Hello, GrandPOOBear.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, GG, my friend. Congrats on starting off with a win.
Thank you so much. That was definitely a nerve-wracking race. I mean, I just assumed he was on my butt the whole time.
Yeah, so it's
yeah.
That's always my first question I love to ask people after these tournament matches. Are you watching your opponent? Are you watching us? Are you just completely blocked out from the world? As
I had my chat on, and there was a few people in my chat that every once in a while would comment on what I was doing. So that was what I want to say. I mean, that I knew about, like, somewhere after Lost, I was a little bit ahead, and I guess I relaxed a little bit because I was really sloppy up through Dark Metro. I didn't really clean it up till after that, and then my mech fight was horrible.
Yeah, that's what I was actually going to say. It felt like you kind of settled in once you got past the Mecha Wiggler fight. Outside of, and Mecha Brutal, like, that happens.
Yeah, that just happens, and you can't, like, I mean, all things considered, like, with the death and with that mech fight, I'm ecstatic about the time.
Yeah,
but
within
it was
2 minutes of about 90 seconds or so of your PB.
Yeah, it was not horrible at all. Well, I upped it to 1206. I'm moving up the rankings. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm just messing around.
I was so close to you at 112.59. I was like, all right, we'll pop him tomorrow. And I was like, what this jerk do? Okay, whatever. I gotta ask you, is this your first? We were talking about this during is this your first tournament match overall? I don't know if there was ever like an SMB3 tournament that you would have participated in or anything.
I did. I've done like the All Castles tournaments, and like I've done other like small tournaments, and of course like every one of my I've done 5 different GDQ races now, so
sure.
It's not. Yeah, so it's not like racing bothers me. I don't get like nerves or anything. I mean, I get nerves, but like not abnormal nerves, for races.
That's, I think, the #1 thing, because, everybody's going to have PBs that are relatively close together. We've said it multiple times watching Spooky today. I said, this is not a 122 player you play.
No. Yeah, I was watching him earlier during practice, and like when I was watching him practice, I was like, dude, this is a 115 guy easy, you know what I mean? Yeah. And he's gonna PB here right now, it seems, if he can get this moon skip, but he's I just think that's the other thing with Mario Odyssey. Like, so many of these players right now that are maybe like in the late 1-teens, by late December, they could very well easily be 111 guys,
And then a lot of times, go ahead.
No, I mean, it's such an accessible game, and so much of the, there's tons of room for optimization in every little spot that, this is going to be a tough tournament no matter what your time is, I think.
Yeah, I definitely see a lot of quote-unquote upsets happening all the way throughout this tournament, because I think consistency is going to be much more important than just necessarily whatever your PB is.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that.
I gotta ask you, I know you come from, obviously, I knew you were going to play this game. I didn't know you were going to speedrun it, but you've got quite a background in 2D Marios. Obviously, the Kaizo fame that you have, Mario Maker. Did you foresee yourself running this game so extensively months ago before the game came out?
No, I was even telling people, we did a charity event that ended the day before Mario Odyssey came out. And we had a group of us there, probably like 20 Mario Maker guys there. And everyone was talking about, I'm going to speedrun. And I was very adamant, like, I am not speedrunning this game. I am bad at 3D Mario. But, like, once I got done with the casual playthrough, I needed more. Like, this game it's so addicting. It's my drug now. I can't stop playing it. I'm obsessed. I'm utterly obsessed with this game.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. I think everybody here and watching this,
All right, guys, we all need to raise our hands in the air. We need to get this moon skip right here for Spooky. It's one of those, like I said, this is at first going to be an extremely frustrating skip. Just because it is precise and everything you got to do. He's kicking off just a little bit too low on the wall, unfortunately, every time. There's sort of this like upside down T on the wall that people always describe that you can look at. And you want to be a little bit above the kind of bottom part of that T, otherwise you're not going to get the kick.
Actually, what I'm noticing he's doing, he's not waiting till you're actually coming down to throw your hat. He's throwing his hat at the top of the jump.
Now I see it.
Yeah, if you wait, if you just wait to throw till you're coming down to throw your hat, it's usually really easy to get in there.
Yeah, I think that is. So what I like to do personally, and everyone's going to have their own method to this, so take it with a grain of salt. I like to line myself up on the left side of the Sphinx, look at the wall, do a ground pound jump, and then, yeah, as I start to fall, once I pass the apex of my jump, then throw my cap to get the bounce. That might work. Oh, he didn't get off the right side of the wall. Yeah, like Spooky, I just unfortunately having a rough race here, but I promise you guys, this guy's like POOBear said, he's gonna have a 115 in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he needs to work out a few things here and there. Took 3 deaths like he did in Wooded Kingdom, trying to get over to the tower.
Yeah, I've actually scouted everyone in my bracket, and they're all like way better than their PB says, and I'm I'll be lucky to get 2 wins in this. I thought I was like I'm gonna be lucky to get out of group stage at all.
Dude, the strategy has to be you gotta play all these people before they get good.
Yeah,
we gotta play them right now, dude. Be like, all right, man, you can have your 112 later, dude. I gotta move on. I gotta feed my family. Like prize money on the line.
Yeah, that's what
prize money on the line. Yeah.
I told everyone I was like, guys, I got a GDQ run. I need to get these done this week. You know, like.
Also, shouts to Spooky, able to get up there. Very nice. I promise you guys, he'll work on that a little bit. He'll be able to find a consistency with it, but very nice. I remember the first time I tried to do it, it took about that long. And then the 6th time it took about that long, and the 14th time, and then finally just one day it clicks. You go, okay, I'm going to hit this every time, first try. So in he goes, into the hallway. He's crashing the wedding. But POOBear, yeah, regardless, man, congratulations on the win. I know you've got to get back to your stream and everything. But what can we expect? When's your next match? Have you scheduled it?
Yeah, I got one coming up Wednesday at 5 o'clock Pacific time, so 8 o'clock Eastern time. Back right here, I think we're gonna be on Speed Gaming 1 again. And that's the number 2 guy in my bracket. We're the Z bracket, so it's the top number 2 guy.
Yeah.
It's like one of the top number 2 guys. So I definitely won't be able to put up this race that I put up today if I want to win, if I want to survive that. I need to definitely clean up some things.
Yeah, was it almost maybe a bit of a strategy of yours to have maybe a race first that you felt a little bit safer about?
No.
Sort of get those first nerves out? No, it's just how it turned out.
Yeah, he contacted me. Actually, Spooky contacted me, and he's like, well, I might as well get this over with. And I was like, dude, I'm more nervous than you are. You should. I feel like you got the advantage right here. I'm expected. No, so he actually, I got really lucky that everyone in my bracket was wanting to get him done quickly. So it totally worked out for me in that favor. Yeah, that would have been a good idea though. I wish I would have thought that through. Like I should have just picked the lowest PB and started with that one, you know?
I messaged all 3 people in my bracket. I was like, all right, dudes, we need to get these done now.
Now, yeah.
Not telling them why, but yeah. So, POOBear, once again, congratulations, man. Congrats
Thank
on
you
the
so much.
start. Good luck getting to your group phase, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, man. Have a good one, guys.
See you, dude.
GG.
So we have got Spooky right here. We're just got his last hit on Bowser, going into the Bowser phase himself. Genuinely, it might have been just a little out of reach, but he could have PB'd before that moon skip. You think about all the, unfortunate mistakes and everything that's happened in this run so far. This is not someone who's playing close to their skill level right now. This is, a bit of a sloppy tournament match. He should be able to get a higher PB very, very soon. I think you're going to see that at a lot of people. Before this tournament's over, that you're going to see, and it's one of my favorite parts of all these speed gaming tournaments we've had over the years. You see so many people go from one skill level, whatever it is, to a completely different bracket of skill by the end of it.
Yeah, I have a good example of that. Our friend Mumuakai entered this Shovel Knight, a Shovel Knight tournament at least, and went from a 120 or 115 to a sub 50 at least time.
Oh, in the course of the that is maybe the most extreme case of that example. I was bringing it up as a feel-good story. Yours was actually the feel-good story.
Mm-hmm.
Mumukai, an absolute monster. Great from the Tropical Freeze
Incredible.
community.
Yeah.
And went on to has records in Tropical Freeze now, or in Shovel Knight, doesn't she?
Yeah, she has all 4 in Spectre of Torment.
Wow.
Might have lost one, but she's always grinding to get them back because she wants to have all 4.
We got Spooky here going into the final phase, shooting fireballs on the right side again, trying to, instead of just moving all the way there slowly with Bowser, getting in some fireballs to already lower the health of these pillars down, so you only have to swipe a couple of times once you get up there. Again, though, there's a lot of little nuance to understanding, like, when to stop shooting your fireballs, because you have a lot of lag and delay out of each of the fireball shots. So once you're close, you just jump up and you start swiping instead, because you can just go swipe, 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 swipe into each other quickly. With that, all 4 pillars are destroyed. Looking like probably a low 127, maybe a high 126. I forget how long this last phase takes. He's a high one. It's maybe one of those. Able to break it. He's jumping in. He's shaking.
59. I don't know.
Well, it shows 59 on his clock.
Yeah.
It's probably a 127 or so. The SRL race spot's always about a second or two behind.
Yeah, official SRL time is 127. Exactly.
127 exactly. So GG. Spooky right there.
What's up, Spooky?
Hey guys. God.
Hey, GG, dude. Okay, so we were just telling Poohbear this. I saw the times coming into this because I'm not familiar with your runs. But I saw, okay, Poohbear's got a 112, Spooky's got a 122. You are much, much better than a 122. I just want you to know that.
Thank
right
you so much.
Yeah, you are a 115 waiting to happen.
Yeah, I like to choke a lot, so that's cool, right?
Hey, we all do, man. It's definitely nerve-wracking in these tournament races. I mean, what's your feeling with this game right now? Do you feel like you just need to get more runs in, more practice?
I need to. I mean, runs will probably help me. I golded, like, if you look at my whole split, I golded everything past Metro by like 40 seconds. I was even with my PB at Bowser, at the end of Bowser. So like, I know that I'm capable. Like, I know that the right luncheon routes that I need to do. I know the right sand route and wooded routes. It's all about just being consistent at this point. So I just need a little bit more practice with like wooded, beginning of Metro, and Seaside and Bowser's, and I'll be good. I'll hit a 115 easy.
Yeah, I'm glad you realized that, because I was sitting there like, I don't know Spooky. He might be sitting there beating himself up, thinking like, oh, I'm never going to be any good at this game. Like, a lot of the strats you were going for looked like, in a lot of ways, the only difference between the low 120s and the mid 110s to me is just consistency. That's all it is. Just,
I mean, my PB right now, or my sum of best now, it was a 120 something. It's a 118.41 now, just for my golds that I got. So I golded by over 2 minutes. You know what I mean?
That's awesome to see.
So you were in the same gold range as I am right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So would you say, did you feel like you had nerves coming into this match? Were you excited for it? What were your just feelings coming in?
So, I'm a very competitive person. I play music all the time in front of a lot of people, so I'm used to like the competitive aspect of things, and I'm used to like having a lot of pressure put on me. But this is my first speed game, and I started actually on November 20th, which was my 22nd birthday. So like 2 weeks ago.
Happy birthday! Kind of late, but happy birthday.
Yeah, no, it's all right. So I picked it up and ran it. I've been running it pretty much every day for the past 2 weeks, and this is my second race, first streamed race. So yeah, I'm just I'm trying to get things out of the way. I think my next race will be a lot better. I knew going into it that Poohbear was like a lot better than me, and I know that my first 2 splits, like if I have a good cap and cascade, they're almost on par with world record, just because I've just worked the shit out of them. You know, I have a 234 cap is my best, and a 60 like 3 is my best cascade. Like,
yeah, those are really good.
Right, and then I shit the bed at, wooded, where I'm a minute behind everybody else. But like, it's all about consistency, and I think I mean, I'm gonna be streaming a lot, so that's what it is.
Yeah, because like you said, like POOBear, like yes, technically, yes, he's better right now, but that's just a lot of it is just a reflection of time put in right now.
Right. I mean, I've only got 2 weeks in.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I see yourself. I was telling Jock and Pooh earlier. I said my favorite part of these tournaments is watching players progress in skill from the beginning to the end. So I see you getting much, much better by the end of this. And honestly, you're not that far away from, don't doubt your ability to even pull a couple of upsets. You know, POOBear, that was the 1 seed in your bracket. You got that out of the way. Maybe even if you had worked really hard and you had a really good run today, you probably still lose this match. But you work a little bit more over the next couple of days, go into your other couple of matches, you know, who knows? You might your tournaments. I think is still very much alive. So
I appreciate that.
It's gonna be interesting to see. I'm gonna be really interested to see how players progress, especially from the quote unquote lower ranks to hit these like mid-1 teams and beyond.
Right.
So.
I mean, POOBear had hosted me earlier because we were talking, and he's legit like telling me, you know, I've been sandbagging all my runs because he was watching me practice. He's like, you're gonna come out in 113 and just blow people away, and I'm like, dude, like I appreciate it, and I know I could do it if I had a god run, but like I'm not consistent enough yet, and that proved it. Like my PB has the skip that I died in on Wooded, the like right after Piranha Plant, as well as first time Moon skip. So like the fact that I missed them, it just like already is kind of like degrading to myself, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely Moon skip. I said multiple times is that skip that. It will be incredibly inconsistent for you when you first start out. And then you'll get to a point where you just find this consistent, like, I know I always stand on the left side of the Sphinx's head. I look at the wall. I ground pound. POOBear brought up consistently what was screwing you up.
Yeah, I was throwing my cap too early.
You were throwing your cap too early. Yeah, if you fell just a little bit, then you would have got the correct bounce every time.
Yeah, and if you notice,
that's like 4 minutes. You would have shaved off that run right there.
Right. I mean, I could have easily PB'd with this run if I hadn't messed up Moonskip. If I got first time, it would have been like a 2. I would have 120 easily.
Yeah. So just something to keep in mind. I'm glad to hear you're so positive about it because I'd like to hear more and more people feeling positive coming out of their races that they know they can do a lot better. So.
I mean, what's the point of being upset about it, man? There's always improvement. It's my best. Run to or race time now. I knocked off 3 minutes in 2 minutes.
GG on personal best in race. That's always a good feeling.
Right. So it's not a complete loss, you know. I got to play in front of like 3,000 people. That was legit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool.
Yeah, we were up over 3,000 viewers actually.
I think we hit front page for some reason.
Oh, is that what happened? Oh,
I think that's what happened. So like the fact that like me. Like, I'm a streamer trying to get affiliate, you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
I have 98 followers, and, like, it's cool to have that experience, like, just to get my name out there. And, like, I'm listening to my headset just blowing up with my freaking alerts now.
Well, you heard it right there, guys. We need to get these guys some follows. If you guys are enjoying Super Mario Odyssey speedruns, both of these players are still in the tournament. GrandPOOBear and xSpooky right there. Speed Gaming just plugged them both. Drop both of them follows. Follow all these guys in the tournament. We're having a great time here. Hello, front page. Didn't know we were ever on there.
Yeah, right.
I sort of hopped in the middle of the race, like, yeah, sure, why not? And it's like, oh, I was not prepped for this. But with that, Spooky, best of luck going forward in the tournament. Again, you said your next race was when?
Oh, my next race is next Tuesday. No, it's Sunday. Tuesday. It's Sunday against the
next Sunday. That's a different day of the week. All right.
Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Yeah, you guys should come out and hang out. And
yeah. Do you know
streamers for it? So.
You know what time and who you're gonna be facing?
I think it's 5 p.m. Eastern, and it's against second seed. It is against
somebody in the bracket. If we click the name, I can't.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. It's JKB.
JKB, okay. Oh, JKB's in this tournament. I actually didn't know.
Oh, yeah. Tough game.
Yeah.
We should sign up. We should sign up for that, Spike, and do it again, and see how we
And see the
Our game.
improvement from one to
Yeah.
another. All right, yeah, we're gonna be your teachers. We're gonna be your
Watch
coaches.
me get out of group stages, guys. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, dude.
So,
I'd love to see the story. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching this edition of Speed Gaming. I came in late. I just jumped in. Jock, do you know if there's another match right after this, or if we're sending people somewhere?
Monday. No. No Odyssey runs left. No. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. EST is the next one. Might be some Super Mario.
Oh,
64?
we do have a Super Mario 64 tournament. So if you guys love 3D Mario speedrunning and tournament races, we have got your fix right over there at twitch.tv/speedgaming2. We'll send you guys over there, but head over there and enjoy the race. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for some more Super Mario Odyssey Any % tournament. I'm
Yep.
Spike Machida.
I'm Joachimus.
And,
Thank you for watching.
And he was xSpooky, right?
yeah, I'm XP. Thanks, guys.
Ooh.
Later, all.
Bye.